Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Our seminar is about to begin. Please adjust your mobile phone into silent mode and back to your position and have a nice day. Om Swastiastu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Shalom Namo Buddhaya. Salam harmoni. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to English Language Education webinar. Respectable the Chair Lady of English Language Education Department, Dr. Niloh Putu Eka Sulistia Dewi SPD MPD, the Honorable all lecturers of the English Language Education Department, and the Honorable all participants of this webinar. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is MENTARI, student from second semester of English Language Education Department Unisa. I'm the moderator of today's webinar. It is a great honor for me to see you here and welcome all of you to this webinar. Today's webinar takes up the theme language teaching method in 21st century during the COVID-19 pandemic. Ladies and gentlemen, our first speaker today is KADEK PRISKA WIDYAWATI. She is a student of English Language Education Uniksa, who currently serves as a coordinator of seminars, files, and paper at the Uniksa Foreign Language Student Association organization for 2021 and 2022. She will present an interesting topic entitled Project-Based Learning of Language Teaching Method in 21st Century in Pandemic Conditions. Before the presentation begins, let me inform the presentation will be going on 10 minutes. After that, there will be question and answer session and followed by conclusion. Ladies and gentlemen, now allow me to welcome the speaker, KADEK PRISKA Widyawati, to deliver her presentation. For KADEK PRISKA Widyawati, the floor is yours.
Thank you for the opportunity that is given to me. First, let me introduce myself. My name is KADEK PRISKA Widyawati. I'm a student from Ganesha University of Education, English Language Education Department. Today, I would like to give the material about language teaching method in 21st century in pandemic condition. Okay, let's get started. As we know that we are having a pandemic that obstructs all the activities, including education. The coronavirus is contagious. Therefore, we have to change the learning system with online learning. Online learning is a learning process that uses technology like handphone and computers. With that devices, we can use some application for discussion and also video conferences without meet face-to-face. That's why online learning is the best way for a pandemic condition. And now I have the teaching method that's suitable for online learning. That is project-based learning. Project-based learning is a teaching method that focuses on the student. So project-based learning is based on the project. And then the principle of project-based learning. The first one is centralistic. Centralistic means focuses on students or student-centered. Students learn the main concept of knowledge through project work. And the second one is question guiding. The question guiding principles means that project work begins by focusing on question or problems. And the third one is investigation constructive. The principle of investigation constructive is a process that leads to the achievement of goals, which contains activities of inquiry or investigation, concept building, problem solving, and decision. And the fourth one is autonomy. The principle of autonomy implies that there is independence of students in carrying out the learning process, free to make their own choice, work with minimal supervision, and are responsible. And the last one is realistic. The realistic principle means that the project carried is related to real life and not made up. Students make a real project and focus on authentic problem and not simulation. Next, characteristic of project-based learning. This characteristic you can read on the slide. And next, step and implementation of project-based learning in language teaching. So the step and implementation, you can also read in the slide. Okay. That's all from me, and I return it to the moderator. Thank you. Stay safe all.
Thank you very much for Nikada Priska Ayu Widyawati for giving us such informative and interesting presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, now let's move to the second session of this plenary session. I would like to introduce our speaker. He is the founder of Sabu Sabu Literacy Program. He is an MC and student of English Language Education Undisa who currently serves as the coordinator of the protocol files at the Undisa Foreign Language Student Association. Please, his name is WAYAN Adi SUASTAWAN. In this special occasion, he will present an interesting topic entitled Restoring the Culture of Literacy in Learning English. For Adi Swastawan, the time is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, Om Swastiastu. In this special occasion, I would like to share my material with topic Restoring the Culture of Literacy in Learning English. But before that, allow me to introduce myself first. My name is WAYAN Adi Swastawan. I'm the coordinator of the protocol field at the Undiksa Foreign Language Student Association. I'm so happy to attend this great plenary session. So without further ado, I would like to start my presentation. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as we know that the word of education can't be separated from the activity that's called literacy. According to UNESCO, literacy is a skill in identifying, understanding, interpreting, creating, and communicating a word, either verbally or in writing. Ladies and gentlemen, the background for the birth of literacy cultures is one of the elements in curriculum ideology. Its openness and encourages experimental intelligence critically and objectively. So now the question is, what is the reality of literacy in Indonesia for today? Reporting from data compiled by UNESCO shown an alarming situation where the percentage of reading interest in these countries only touches 0.001%. It means that approximately 250 million population, only 250,000 are actively reading. And this is caused because some factors. One factor is the existence of social media such as Instagram, Facebook, and the last one is application of TikTok, which makes the students always dancing without knowing the limiting the time because the TikTok application. So what about the condition? Same with the condition of literacy for today. Of course, not far from word set. This is because some factors. The first is the lack of technology, the lack facilities in library, and the teachers cannot give a good example for the students. Departing from the problem, there are some solutions that I can provide to solve this problem. The solution is for elementary school grade 3rd until 3rd, the teacher can assign students to write simple diaries to tell various experiences experienced by students, which can be given an assessment as a form of appreciation. And for junior high school level and senior high school level, the students can be taught to do a book review or write a scientific paper as a requirement for class promotion. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I can convey. I would like to say apologize if there is any mistake because nobody is perfect. I return the opportunity to the moderator. Thank you.
Thank you very much for Adi Swastawan for giving us such informative and interesting presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, now come to the question and answer session. I'd like to have the question from the participant. From the participant, please.
Thank you for the opportunity that is given to me. And then first, I would like to introduce myself. My name is RATNA. For the first speakers, before I start with the question, I would like to thank you for conveying the material very well with a very useful topic to be applied to the learning process like now, especially in the pandemic era. Okay, the question is, why is the project-based learning is very suitable for learning in a pandemic era? Please explain. Thank you. And then for the second speakers, of course, I would like to convey thank you for delivering the material very well and easy to understand. And I think this is what happened with so many children in Indonesia, especially in era of pandemic like now. So the question is, we know that not all children can get adequate reading or literacy facilities. Economic limitation or limited access to remote areas make them really even don't read, or worse, they can't read. What is the best and easiest way for each level of society to develop a culture of literacy? Thank you.
Okay, I will answer the question for Diana. Uh, in this case, project-based learning is very suitable to be applied for online learning in this pandemic era because it can reach all aspects of learning, including cognitive aspect, psychomotor aspect, and attitude aspect by taking topics that are contextually occurring at that time. Just like offline learning as usual, assignments are one source of teacher assessment. The the teacher will not be able to see the attitude of their student when learning online. The teacher doesn't confirm whether their students are studying or not. So by giving assignment, at least a student will start to open their books. Maybe other method can use here, but I think project-based learning is more suitable because the teacher cannot supervise a student directly, and with assignment, at least the student will open their book and also study during do their assignment. That is my answer, Diana.
Okay, so what do you think? If you think project-based learning is very effective in learning in this pandemic era, can you give me a real example for the effectiveness of this project-based learning?
Thank you, Diana. For the example, the real example, the teacher gives assignment to student to analyze something related to English, like make videos to practice student speaking, take notes from English audio to train their listening, and there is a possibility that a student are lazy to practice if they are not given assignment, especially if online learning. Where the teacher cannot supervise student directly. So project-based learning is suitable for online learning.
Okay, thank you, Priska, for this wonderful answer. Thank you.
Well, thank you for the opportunity that is given to me. Well, allow me to answer Diana's question. It's very wonderful questions. So we can do some issues alternative to develop a literacy culture, starting from make a simple diaries, give a book as a present, and also make a reading community to have a literary reference for all the genres of the book. And that's all about my answer. How about you, Diana?
Yeah, really good answer. And then I want to ask, maybe not ask, I want to ask your opinion about, do you think that Indonesia has become a country with a good literacy activities? Please explain and mention the examples.
Well, and related to the level of Indonesian literacy awareness, Indonesia is ranked 62 out of 70 countries in terms of literacy levels, or in the lowest 10 countries that have low literacy levels. Moreover, according to UNESCO, the condition for a country to be called having high literacy awareness is that at least everyone must have one new book for 1 year. That's all for me. How about you?
Thank you, Eddie, for the wonderful answer too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for the participant and the speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, we finally come to the end of this seminar. Before I close the seminar, I would like to take the conclusion from what the speaker has presented. So the conclusion from the first speaker is by using the project-based learning method in this online learning period, of course, it will make students more active in finding about the material obtained. Besides that, teachers also easily assist the development of their students. And from the second speaker is literacy-based English learning has a high impact on student development. However, it must also be accompanied by real guidance and work from educator so that it can produce significant result in its implementation. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say thank you to all participants for the very active participation. I'd like to say apologies if there are any mistake because no one is perfect. And now I close this webinar with Parama Santi. Om Santi, 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 Om. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you. Have a great day.